More Amber Heard news. I just can't get over it. I know I've said it before, and I'll say it again. I like watching the court case. Did you know that by now? Anyway, the other reason that I like doing it is because it's also good for views. And the other reason that I like it is because there is a lot of dynamics in relationships that I can relay from the relationship books that I've read in my life, which will help you out. That's why you should sign up to Jordan Shanks so you can get even more coverage for it. But if you're just going to be a cheap ass and not improve your life to its full extent, here's the free version of what I'm about to say, right? If you notice Amber Heard and Johnny Depp speaking to one another when they're recorded on their devices, have you observed that when they are speaking to one another in day-to-day conversations, they sound like they're auditioning for plays? Not even auditioning, that's too generous of it, that they've got the role. Now that's how you know that they're both professional actors. Their whole life is an act. They're always playing a character. And it's amazing. It's what makes the court case so engaging because just them being in it has turned into a movie. Every sentence, the way that they look at people, it's all acting. And obviously, Johnny Depp is clearly the superior actor, and it's very obvious in his career. But, even something like, Miss Heard, have you noticed that Johnny Depp hasn't looked at you once? Yes, I have. Have you noticed that you've looked at Johnny Depp many times? Yes, I have. Do you know why that is? Yes, I do. It's because he made a promise that he can't look into your eyes ever again. Is that correct? Is that correct? He can't. He won't look into your eyes. No, he can't. Even that little exchange there, even with my relay where I'm sort of paying it out because that's the role that I'm playing and that's what we'll be moving into very quickly. But, even with that, you still see a movie happening in front of you. And then when Johnny Depp they play the recording and they're like, I just want to touch you, Johnny. Why won't you let me touch you? You will never see these eyes again, Amber. Never. Doesn't he just sound like he's auditioning for a new vampire movie? It's incredible. Even the fact that he has that extremely poetic line of, you will never see these eyes again. I mean, everyone out there has experienced a breakup before, right? Was your breakup that epic? Be honest, you schmucks. It's nowhere near as cool as that. I couldn't get over it. It is the classiest way you could ever break up with someone. Never see these eyes again. And it's because, obviously, as my girlfriend was pointing out, because she is an actor as well, so she's always reading poetry. She's always looking into the arts. And as such, it starts molding your brain and you start behaving in such a manner, which is another reason why Johnny Depp is such a far superior actor to Amber Heard, because the character that Amber Heard is, as in, I'm not even talking about roles at the moment, I'm just talking about the person that she is a pretty stock standard, Valley Girl Hollywood, yeah, slightly hotter than the others, that's it. Johnny Depp, on the other hand, there's two vampires in the world. There's Vlad the Impaler and there's him. That's it. He's just such a suave, debonair. He's 50. Girls, write in the comments right now. Even though he's 50, regardless of your age, you'd fuck him, right? Surely. I would. I'm a heterosexual man. Also, just for the joke of being like, I had sex with this male Hollywood celebrity. But, it's like, meme factor aside, very handsome, sexy man. And I think that a lot of that is because he has just put his mind into poetry, and so he is just this walking poem. Even Amber Heard pointed that out. But the overarching point that I'm getting at here is roles. These two, and I think that this is just reflective in their relationship, apart from all the psychological implications of it, the drug abuse, the abuse, the general dynamic of these attachment styles coming together, and Amber Heard's very, very apparent BPD. Yeah? Take away all of that, you still have two Hollywood grade actors interacting with one another. So everything that they do is a scene. And the reason is because you don't take, especially if you're like a type A person, right? You take yourself home from work. This is why such high divorce rates amongst lawyers, is because lawyers take being a lawyer home. But can you imagine being a divorce lawyer? Can you imagine being married to a divorce lawyer? Can you imagine being so... I couldn't sign the agreement. I would never be able to do it. I'd be too scared of the divorce settlement. Imagine them representing themselves with that level of interest riding on them and their knowledge of divorce law. But that's the whole point, is that you take home who you are, depending on how much of a person that you are in that role, yeah? So, for instance, housewives, they emanate being a good mother, unless they're just, the kind of piece of shit one with the leopard spot spandex on, being like, Caleb, get my nails done, shut up. But a lot of housewives usually emanate this thing of, I wish she was my mom. She cut off the crusts for me, right? There is just an instant feeling when they're in the room because of the way that they are carrying themselves. And the reason that they are carrying themselves is because it goes to this overarching self-help point, which is that you are always practicing something. You can't escape that. So if you are a professional in whatever extent it is, in fact, on the podcast recently, there was this chick that rang up that was from a bank. And it was so obvious she was. She was so professional, so cordial, so aware of time. The way that she argued her friends, the case of Labor, was through facts and figures. Now, obviously, that might just be the awareness of the fact that she's in that environment and that's what it is. But I honestly think it's just the fact that your role shapes you immensely. It's the way that you see the world. So the way that Johnny Depp sees the world is far more poetic than the average person's, because he has spent so much time focused on that. There's a reason that him and Hunter S. Thompson were such good friends. They resonate with each other, and it's because that is the way that they are viewing the world. It's like that old Ayurvedic saying that if you have a focus on your body, your life will be a very physical experience. If you have a focus on reading, you will have a very mental experience of life. If you have a very emotional experience of life, everything is just going to be about but. And that's what's happening there. Both of them, obviously, want to be actors, want to be artistes, and so everything around them is extremely artistic because it starts to resonate. What is within resonates without. And so the relationship is molded by that factor as well. The relationship is two actors acting, being in a relationship. I'm not saying that there wasn't any genuine love there and all that kind of stuff, but it would have a very different flavour to it if it was two bankers in a relationship. When they were breaking up, I would imagine that it would be a thing of like, I'm just very time poor and I can't really see anything happening until September because I'm just so booked out. There'd be something like that to it. As I point out, when you are in a breakup, was it anywhere near as epic as that? So this is all just for you to focus on now. Now I want you to write down, what are the main roles that you play in life? Because that is going to be your experience of life. That is what's going to carry on through life. That is the way that you are going to be seeing life, is what role am I playing? And if you can figure out what role that you're playing. So, lawyer, obviously, when you're at home, lawyer. Be honest about it as well, though, by the way, because some are able to separate that a lot better. Some people are able to compartmentalize what they're doing a lot better, and there's two factors for that. One is that they're just very sneaky, manipulative people. And then the other one is that they have healthily figured out, okay, I'm supposed to be this role in this situation. I'm supposed to be that role in that situation. You know, the example that I used in the previous Amber Heard video, when you call up your grandma and all of a sudden your voice is 6 again. Because they expect you to be 6 years old. They speak to you like you're 6 years old and you start moving into that role. That expectation is there. My mum, she used to teach disabled kids, and so everybody that she ever spoke to, and it was really humiliating, was like they were disabled. if she was ever talking to somebody who was serving us at a restaurant, and it wasn't just because of the restaurant, it was like, it's a low job. She could be speaking to the Prime Minister of Australia. She's like, hello. It's like, oh, you're the 31st. That's a big number. You proud of that? Yeah, that's great. Do you have a picture of that on your fridge? That's how she'd speak to people. And on top of that, because she was doing that, you could see the other person responding with, yes, yes, I have on my friend. Right? Whatever the role that you are playing, the reality starts morphing around that. So it is very important for you to figure out what the roles that you are doing are. Are they serving you? Are they good for you? It's also really good professionally as well, because if you are one of these people that takes your unprofessional self to your professional life, you are not going to succeed in the role, because somebody else is going to be so into that role that they are going to be taking their professional life into their personal life, and as a result, their personal life will fail. So, healthy human beings are able to compartmentalize what role they are supposed to be playing and in what area, and then they just start practicing it in that way. And if somebody actually sees themselves as a banker, one day they will be a banker. Because as soon as they walk into that environment, everybody else around them subconsciously will be like, nice shirt, nice fresh tie, who's really conscious of time. You know, they'll start ticking it off in their heads. That is also the case with actors. That is definitely a big reason why Johnny Depp has been in demand for the last 50 years. Like, obviously, success begat success, yes? But also, there is a thing of, clearly, when you see that man speaking, you think, actor. That's what you think. Because his entire world, his worldview is shaped by that. That's another reason why you should be reading a lot. Yeah, we've already talked about that many times, but when you are reading a lot in your subject, it starts shaping the way you see the world. And then that starts resonating from without. I've already said that point. Have I already said this point before? You should sign up to Jordan Shanks. You really should sign up to Jordan Shanks. I personally highly recommend it. It has my tick of approval. I cannot tell you how many people write to me. Now, it's incredible because I've just started mentioning it even, of people saying, I'm a millionaire. I've gotten the job of my dreams. I have the girlfriend of my dreams. It is not rocket science. You just have to focus on it. You just have to implement what is on Jordan Shanks. It is infinitesimal the amount of money that you put into it for what you get in return. What you get in return is the love of your life. What you get in return are your wildest dreams fulfilled in the shortest amount of time possible, because it's not hard, it's just as safe. You have to know the combinations, and once you do, you're in for life. Sign up today. Thanks so much for watching. I'll just turn this off. Okay, bye.